Hey everyone, it's Father Sean for another episode here of the Couch Chat, and we're here in the heart of September. So living just this good life in September, coming off just celebrating the feast, the exaltation of the cross. Also, we started on Monday the first of our Hallow challenges, how to pray. I think all of us have this desire to pray better. I know I do, that I always want to grow in this relationship with the Lord to be able to pray better. So hopefully you're participating in this Hallow challenge. If not, you can still catch up. You can jump in already. 3 things you have to do. Maybe you've already done one, maybe 2 of them. First, you've got to download the Hallow app, Hallow, Hallow. Second, you've got to join our community, join the Holy Face of Jesus Parish. And then thirdly, you've got to click Join the Challenge. So it's the How to Pray Challenge, 14 days, bunch of great guides, kind of getting us started on this journey of prayer. So hopefully you're experiencing maybe a deeper prayer life, maybe the beginnings. And as you're going through this, you're probably not going to be able to implement everything. Right? Not everything is going to be, I've got to do this, 14 days worth of things to get me started. Pick something, right? The goal is just to grow a little bit. It's like anything else in life. We don't grow immediately all at once. But our prayer life, this intimacy that we experience with Jesus, slowly grows over time. And of course, the Hallow app is not an end in it of itself. It's a tool to help us pray better, or to learn how to pray. It's like training wheels for prayer. So this is basically just teaching us how to pray. So if you're like, I don't, my prayer life is flying right now. This isn't helpful. That's okay. But it's here if you want to come back to it. So that's the first thing, the Hallow app. The second thing is just to point your eyes just a little bit down the road to the month of October. So if you remember, when we were going through our parish merger, one of the things that had to happen is we have to have a patronal feast day of the parish. A patron would be basically like a saint who we look out to as the one, the example, the one that we celebrate their feast day. So when the archdiocese, and especially the archbishop, were kind of going through this merger process, they asked me, well, what would be a good patronal feast day? Because it's not a no-brainer, right? There's not a Holy Face of Jesus feast day on the calendar. There was back in the old days, but that's a whole different story for a different day. So I was asked, well, what would be an ideal patronal feast day? And I threw out a couple things. I threw out 4 things, actually. Said if the archbishop wants to decide, that would be great. And the archbishop, of course, decided Saint Therese of Lisieux. Also, her religious name was Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. So Saint Therese has a great devotion to the Holy Face of Jesus. She was seemingly in history the first person to have that little title at the end of her religious name, of the Holy Face. Maybe she was the first one to have also of the Child Jesus. Not sure. But anyways, Saint Therese was named the patron of our parish. So that's coming up. Her feast day, Saint Therese's feast day, is October 1st. So, of course, we celebrate that on the day of October 1st. But we also have this opportunity, this option, to observe it on a nearby Sunday. So this is just heads up down the road. The weekend of October 5th and 6th, we're going to celebrate the solemnity of Saint Therese of Lisieux. There'll be different readings. We'll use different prayers. Also in conjunction with that, in the afternoon on Sunday, there's going to be a mother-daughter tea. So it'll be an opportunity for mothers and daughters of any generation, right? It could be 70-year-old mom and her, 45-year-old daughter, right? It could be any combination. And then the 45-year-old daughter could also bring her daughters, right? So generations of women, you could bring multiple daughters. We're going to have, I think, like 8-person round tables, so you're going to be able to fit the family. So it should be a good event, right? It should be a good event for mothers and daughters. We've had a handful of things for men going on. So this is just kind of an exciting thing. One, to get mothers and daughters and granddaughters together, but also to celebrate the feast day of our patron saint, to celebrate the feast day of Saint Therese. And the Saint Therese has a autobiography called The Story of the Soul. And I remember the first time reading Saint Therese's autobiography, one of the takeaways is she's just so feminine. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but she's just so much like the way she experiences the world, the way she reacts to particular things. It's just incredibly like the feminine genius, right? The ideal of how God created a woman to be. And as a man, it was intriguing. It was very different to kind of see the world through her eyes, to see the world through her ends. But it was still something attractive, kind of excited to keep reading the book. So, seems like a fitting day, St. Therese's feast day, who's just this great model of femininity, a great day to have a mother and daughter tea. So we'll be celebrating that feast day October 5th and 6th. October 6th, that Sunday afternoon, is going to be the tea. We're going to need some RSVP, so you can call the parish office. You can look in the bulletin how to register for that. I think there's probably something on the website, but I'm recording this a little ahead of time, so I'm not 100% sure what's going to be in the bulletin just yet. So anyways, hopefully you're enjoying this How to Pray Hallow Challenge and growing in your prayer life as we prepare for the feast day of St. Therese here in a few weeks. Father Sean for the Couch Chat. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye. Ooh, that coffee is strong. It's like espresso.